I've been called many names. Mr. Wonderful, hey you behind the bushes.
Huh?
Get out of that garden!
Obviously, we're here to talk about a comic book that myself and Brian have co-wrote.
One fall!
If you can work through even just getting on a call for a half hour or an hour, that makes a big difference in the overall presentation of the product then.
Wow, this art is amazing. I'm like, the story's pretty good too. He's the meat and we're the two veg.
Potentially controversial, but like...
Welcome to
Also-
the weekly controversies.
Bad things are going to happen with the characters that you love most.
€10. Go get it now.
Oh, are you now? Oh, well, better buy your comics, so.
So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the FiveMarks Podcast. I am your host, Mr. Merit115, joined again, as always, with my lovely... At some point, he'll wear a dress like all other dance partners.
Next week. It's going to happen next week. Hello, everybody. I am Carmo, and welcome back for another week.
Another week indeed, and we are joined by a man who has been here. It's 2024. He's already been on more episodes of the FiveMarks than Emmett, beating Gallicini for this. We are back with Mr. Niall, Foxy, Fox.
Hey! That could very well be a very true statement in the coming weeks. Who knows?
It's either going to be that or you're going to be fucking Ty, one or the other. If someone wants to take my spot, you can. But Foxy's not alone. I've got my dance partner. Foxy's got his comic book dance partner, Mr. Brian, Pepsi Maxwell.
Hi. I'm here too.
I love how you're trying to adapt on the fly, just based off like, a nickname. You didn't have a nickname. Oh yeah, can. Just shout at Pepsi. So it's like, yeah.
We'll go with that. It'll do.
I'm quick. I'm quick at finding something on the fucking mark. I couldn't just go like Brian one fall Maxwell, because then it's like, oh, why'd you call that the Foxy too?
I've been called many names. Mr. Wonderful, hey you behind the bushes. You know.
Get off my lawn.
Get out of that garden!
How are we doing this evening, everybody?
Good.
So
I don't know.
it's Foxy's tired today.
Oh yeah.
We are here to talk about one thing only. It's hanging in the background of Mr. Brian right there. Lovely ass frame. I have a signed copy here in my hand that these two lads came together and made themselves a little comic. I'm gonna stand here and do my best like model type things. Brian and Foxy, what are we here to talk about today?
Well, obviously we're here to talk about a comic book that myself and Brian have co-wrote. It's called One Fall.
One fall!
And it is published by our own publishing company, which is newtandbatproductions. As instead of trying to find someone to publish it, why not do it ourselves? So yeah, it's all self-funded. It is an expensive endeavor.
I can't even afford a chair.
That's why he stood up, yeah.
Yeah, that's why he's standing the whole time. Like the budget wasn't there for another.
Technically, I've sold this on Facebook Marketplace. It's not even mine anymore.
All that stuff in the background, it's actually a green screen.
Yeah.
You just gotta step off the screen and just be like, I was never here. I was never here.
But I guess like we started at the beginning. Where did this idea come from to start a fucking comic book?
I have had the idea for years to do a comic book, and I've tried a few times over the years to try and get one off the ground, but to no avail. Like I've realized that I'm not smart enough to do it by myself. So, but it was actually by chance. I was actually streaming on Twitch, and I had made reference to the fact that like I'd like to do something like that down the line, maybe release a comic book. And sure enough, Brian happened to be in the chat at the time, So he ended up he slid into my DMs and said, "I write, um, I make comic maybe." So that's kind of how I started,
Like
and
you're looking for a writer. I know one of those. Me.
and just we started going back and forward with a couple of ideas like that I'd had, and it was really just trying to like fine tune and figure out what kind of story we wanted to tell.
Like I had
So,
I had done a blueprint of an idea, and it was just kicking around my notebooks. So Foxy had like obviously like real life experience in wrestling, and I had this like maybe we could tell a story with wrestling. Just a little jot down in the notebook one day, and kind of gave us the bare bones of a story to work off. And I've been like, just the process goes thusly. Hey Foxy, what about this? I don't know. Hey, what about this? That's okay. What about this? Too much. A little bit less, and then yes. And for about a year.
mm,
And ta-da!
And then we got the
I was
beautiful, beautiful comic that it is.
very nice. I was just going to ask, how long does it actually take between going through ideas and then finally, I suppose, sitting down to write the comic? How long does that process actually take?
we well, I can only speak for myself, but I found that like this process was only. I'm kind of glad that it took longer because if if I just jumped into it straight away and released it straight away, I don't think it'd be
It would have been crap.
um yeah,
Who said that?
in nicer way of putting it. By taking the actual time to really like, okay, we took a break from it here and there, like come back to it. It's like, okay, what do we think of this? Are we still happy with this? Can we fine tune it, or are we good to go on this? Like it was literally by section, and it happily enough, by doing that, it allowed us to really like fully map out Jane Mac like a full on story that can be told with, but that's providing that there's enough support as well as being able to fund it in general. We want people to enjoy it. We want people to actually like get behind it, um, because they actively want to hear, like read the story. Um, I would hate to be putting out stuff purely on a vanity point of view where it's like, oh yeah, I'm just putting this out, but um, again, it had to be something that not only was enjoyable for people to read, like and look at visually. It's just but we wanted people to keep coming back. So that's what we hope we can do with this.
Like
But
the
yeah, long answer short is that yeah, I was glad that it took longer because if I jumped forward with it, wouldn't be what it is now.
It
Uh,
was Tracy Sayers
mm,
of Thomond Comic Creations, good friend of Foxy, and now I can happily say is a very good friend of mine. Is a what would you call her, Foxy? A comic book and con legend, the greatest human that ever existed. Our comic mammy. Like she acts as, and she has her own business helping people create their own ideas, whether it be characters for, role playing, tabletop role playing games, or like with us. And in the early days, when we didn't really know if we had anything, she was the one that was like, guys, this is amazing. Like she loved it.
Hmm.
She was like, there's real heart in this. It's not just, oh, look at the wrestling. Like there's a real, like, it's about three comics in one. Um, it's something that I had a chat with Foxy one day, and I'm like, "This is good, but can you tell me a little bit more about like your experience in wrestling?" And the second we started tapping that vein of that real personal touch, the comic just became its own thing. Character sprang to life. It just became its own thing. And anyone who is a creator will know when you're in that, you just hit that zone. And it was because of Foxy's vulnerability. He was honest about a particular aspect of wrestling that he struggles with. That we will be going into in the comic. It's not like, this is a story about a trainee wrestler. We're starting at grassroots for a reason. And why I say this is a kind of a three stories in one. It's a story for wrestling fans who may or may not know what's going on. Comic book fans who just like a good old story. And then there's another little thing that's been really driving this is like, we're pulling every source and every bit of inspiration and every bit of love that we have from either storytelling or wrestling or anime, music, everything is going into this, which is exactly what I've learned makes a great wrestler. It's not just one thing. And that's what we're in between a lot of different worlds in terms of, hopefully, you know, we've gone to a convention. We're going to another convention in April, maybe more in between. And there's that market of comic book people. And then there's, like I say, ourselves, our community of wrestling fans. Hey, we all got the merch. Foxy's representing the anime convention at the moment. but that's like, I'm not huge into anime, but you can see behind me like what I'm into. And we're trying to bring all of that together and use wrestling and the journey of a wrestler to tell what I think is a really personal, lovely, heartfelt story. And of the people who have read it, we didn't mess around. We went right in there straight away. And there's stuff that's in issue 1 that we have planned to pay off in issue 4, issue 9. Everything's gone into this. Every little bit of, like, we have spent an entire year painstakingly going through every cool idea and then making it better. And pushing each other to make it better. What about this? What about that? What about this? What about that? And that's what's in this, is like pure love and effort. And every step of the way has been really good fun. It's been hard.
Yeah.
Some long nights and a lot of money out of our pockets, but that effort and the drive to be like, you up for a call tonight? All right, let's go for it. It's the same with yourselves doing the podcast. It's like, you just need that one person to be like, right, tonight, and then you go in after it. It's like, are you coming to training? Are you going for a pint? Me and Foxy have been working off each other in that way. There are some days that I didn't want to do it, and there may be other days that Foxy didn't want to do it, and we just kept pushing each other.
It is one of those that, like, even on days that we didn't particularly probably want to do it, by actually getting on a call and talking, you're being extremely productive, because if you can work through a time when you're not actually interested in it, even though it's a completely passion project that we don't have to touch at any point, but the fact that even just getting on a call for a half hour or an hour and ironing out a couple of details, like, that makes a big difference in the overall presentation of the product later down the line. You may not realize it at the time, but it is worth the effort. But again, it's a learning experience. I mean, that's for sure. But
Big time.
We've had a lot of fun with it. We want people to have fun with it and enjoy it. And as a couple of people kind of pointed out, it's like, I noticed this, or why'd you do that? It's like, don't worry. Like, we've talked about these. Like, there's a lot of things that, because it's a visual medium, you're gonna see it. But for those that are really eagle-eyed or Easter egg hunters, like, there's a reward for doing that as well, because there is a lot of, like, Easter eggs there. You just have to know where to look. And what I love is that there's so much that we can pull from and throw out there that, again, we can keep people like guessing or trying to figure out, right, if we said, right, we've 5 things scattered throughout this comic that we want you to find, go find it. See if you can figure it out. I love that because you're rewarding people for their effort of doing it. But
There's
it's a
some-
detail that isn't it isn't like you get a lot of comics that do actually like they will pay it off, but it's far down the line to the point where you forget about it. Whereas we want to like reward people for who are reading each individual issue. So that way it's not they don't feel cheated in that regard. It's like, okay, I was wondering if this is here. It's like, oh, there we go. It's there. There it is. I didn't have to wait long. So it keeps you enthusiastic about it. But one of the biggest things that we noticed throughout this, like because we had conversations with other writers and artists along the way, and especially writers that do wrestling related comic books. But what we found out is that none of them are involved in wrestling. None of them. So already we've kind of like tapped into a little vein of something that's never been done. Like the goal was to try and make it to give it authenticity to what is being put out there as well, because it's wrestling. It's a wrestling comic book, but it's surrounded by all these other aspects as well. But I wanted to put a lot of emphasis on when wrestling related stuff is done, it's given the utmost respect and it's given the authenticity that it kind of needs that you might not see from other projects. But that's not to say that other projects are bad. Like there's some really fucking good ones out there.
Shooting.
I love that Brian thought the same thing as me. He's like, nah, fucking go in, go.
Nah, I'm not.
You're seeing the dynamic. Wind up merchant, classy individual.
What?
Like wind up merchant. I don't. Where's Foxy to me now?
Yeah.
Like,
There.
Oh, he's
There.
so yeah. He's like down lower. There you go.
Yeah, good boy. But like we've worked with an artist. Jack Morris is the lad who's illustrated all of this, and fine-tuned everything and put his own little thread in the backgrounds as well that we wanted to give him license to do. But that's Jack Morris at Jack Detter Mender Artist. Links to follow. I'm not saying that.
He's
out loud
definitely
again.
not really from the comic itself right now. God. I actually too. I want to bring up Jack because I know one story Foxy told us is that when Jack got brought on board, he jumped the fucking gun. He got right to work right away and was just like fucking pumping out. Here's that one done. Here's that one done. Here's that one done. Here's that one done. So,
like, no, like he's absolutely fantastic. Like it just his we were blown away by his turnaround. And this is someone who's not a wrestling fan, but with the information we'd given, and then allowing him the freedom to put his own flavor to it, because he does have a very unique art style, and is a master of being able to play with very subtle tones and color. So. But again, I don't think there was actually too much that we had to really rein him in on from our initial brief to him.
Well, he showed us a few panels of things that we had to reel in because of rating. Because Jack he's a writer in his own right. He has his own series, Shadows, and other things. He's on Webtoon. He has his Instagram. He has a YouTube channel. This guy's amazing. He's not so good. I don't want to give him loads of money, but if I
don't
could,
take him from us, we need him. Fuck off.
I give him the world. He's such an amazing creative cool person. And to like the way I provided briefs to him was in like a really like, look, here's a little idea. Now you go play with it. Everything was phrased in a way that he could, you know, really like get his mark on it. And it's the first thing people say about the comic.
Yeah.
Wow, this art is amazing. I'm like, the story's pretty good too.
Yeah, but this art is just, oh my
man.
God.
But really and truly, like, come on. He's the meat and we're the two veg. But just because of his like genuine artistry, creativity, and he's just like, for the love of God, go look at his stuff. I don't use the word lightly. The man's a genius. Like, really and truly, to be able to take concepts in just words, and my terrible, I can't emphasize this enough, terrible mock drawings. Because technically, I draw the comic first. Didn't I, Foxy? Didn't I? Every single panel, I drew it.
We did. We did. And
Yeah.
Yes, with the initial like images, if that's what you want to call, that we sent to Jack, to be able to take that and just blow it out of the water, and like just really completely surprising us, like on a different plane. But yeah, no, Jack's fantastic, like at just being able to take them. He was very, very extremely good at taking the minimal amount and being able to still encapsulate what we're looking for, but also put his unique essence into it. So we were very, very fortunate to actually get like Jack as well.
Is like, I think everything's real. People think that issue 1 is what it is, and I'm super proud of it. Issue 2 is gonna have the second hallmark of what Jack can do, which is action. He's brilliant at facial expressions, and his background work and detail, and his unique shading. Yeah, that's one thing. But his how he can translate action and movement in still images. You think you're looking at holograms. It's so hard to explain his art style without showing it to you. And hopefully everything going well and our plans come to fruition. Issue 2 should be produced and ready for printing and selling. Hopefully in the summer, ideally. Everything going well, because he's a busy guy. He's finishing up his final year of college, and this is what Foxy is. This is one of the things that gets in the way, is part of the creative process. You could have a bad day in work. You could be tired. You could need to look after a newborn baby, and you still get involved, and you still put the effort in. But issue 2, if you liked issue 1, and if you haven't, please buy it. Available. We will give it to you for money. But issue 2 is really like, if you don't like issue 2, you're not buying issue 3. You'll buy issue 1 out of like, go on and give it a shot. I know who Foxy is. I'm gonna trade off Foxy's goodwill in the wrestling community. Well, if you've been good enough and kind enough to buy issue 1, we know what that means. Like, I've got books and toys and things here, and Foxy, look behind him and look at what we all have like on display and what we wear. I know exactly what it means to put my hand in a pocket for a wrestler or an artist, and it's not lost on me how hard it is. So if you want to give us your money, please do. But it's not lost on us how important that is and how hard that is. Like, here's the sales pitch. It's €10 plus postage and packaging. But like, that's enough that I can justify the hours upon hours and hours of effort that I've put in, and Foxy has put in, and friends and family who have helped us, and well wishers, and like yourselves and anybody who's ever come on board and be like, this is interesting. This looks good. Here. Everything that has been given to us and every sale has gone right back into the comic. And it will continue to go right back into the comic. This isn't something that, hey, do I want a Marvel Cinematic Universe? Yes, please. But like, we're grassroots, we're early days, we're self-published. Like, it's not lost on me how hard it is for somebody to give even a tenner. I know what it's like. I've just done my budget this week. I know what a tenner means to some people. So it's not lost on us. There's the heartfelt. Please. But this is how much I care about it. Like, I can talk forever about how much this means to me, how proud I am of it, and the level of myself as well. I know I say it's inspired by Foxy, but there's so much of me in this as well. So much of my own worries and anxieties and fears, and if you like that kind of thing. If not, issue 2, we get slapping people. So it's one for everyone.
Well, so I love that you said you could talk all day about it, because this is probably going to be where you step in now again. So obviously, like, without giving away too much of the actual story itself, I just said there, like, elements of the story come from yourself, come from hearing stories about Foxy. But, issue 1, is about, a kid. I don't want to give away too much. A kid who pretty much, like, you could say he's lost, finds wrestling. Where does the story come from? Is this literally a mix of Foxy, Brian, let's make a fucking story?
Yep, it's our creativity. It's our creativity, baby. It's exactly that. Like everybody is, I'm assuming, looking at all your beautiful faces in around the same age. Does everyone remember the 90s?
No.
Remember when wrestling was the coolest fucking thing ever? Yeah, remember Pokemon?
No, don't get me started on Pokemon.
Yeah.
I want to just now being brought into that fucking thing.
So, good luck to you then.
See how those things were fads and trends of the 90s, along with hogs and smoking indoors in pubs. Look how all of these things have changed. And for a time, for me, I kept watching wrestling, and all of my friends stopped watching wrestling. And you're left being the one person who, you still watch that?
It's fun, isn't it?
You know
it's fake, right?
Huh? That's right there. It's on the back. It's the first thing I wanted to know. Let people know it's right there. This is what it really takes to look fake. And there was a little bit of that. There was a little bit of fuck you to those people. There was a little bit of fuck you to the people who abandoned us in our beautiful community, which is a fucking fantastic. Adore the wrestling community. Bunch of smarky fucks, my people. My fucking people. Whether it's OTT or RCW or Five Factory or anything, fucking Titanic or maybe possibly backyard wrestling. Don't try this at home. But there's something unbelievably unexplainable about wrestling. That you can't just get it over by talking about it. You have to go to a show. Mm-hmm. I had a friend who was 90s baby. I remember Kane and the under fella and Stone Rock Steve H. He was like, And we got chatting. It was like, wrestling? You still watch wrestling? I'm like, motherfucker, I do. Yes, please. And I showed him a OTT show. An OTT on demand. And then I brought him to a show. I'm like, there's 2 things you need to know. Wait for a chop and a slam.
Yeah.
And then tell me it isn't the best fucking thing in the world. The greatest live entertainment on the planet apart from slam ball. And if you don't know what slam ball is, I will happily talk about slam ball another time. But we all get it. We're the converters. We're the choir. We're in the pews. We are, the smarky masses.
We're the ones
And
already
there
going
is-
out preaching this stuff.
But there are people there who could be one of us. A black t-shirt wearing fluffy faced, gorgeous, rambunctious rapscallions that we are. Not basement dwelling freaks. I'm actually in an attic, so ha. But like, I've met some brilliant people because of wrestling and at shows. And I've now wrote a comic about my favorite thing. I had wrestling at my wedding. We had a show at my wedding that had wrestling and a ring while I got my ring. Heyo. Like, I adore this so much because I'm a fucking nerd. I love sport and I love acting and I love storytelling, and it's all in wrestling.
One place.
Nice and easily packaged with very good looking people not wearing a lot of clothes.
We're looking at you, Foxy.
He does.
I wear clothes, so I mean,
Yeah,
I'm on the
but
other
no
side
one-
of that, Brian.
No one asked you to wear them slacks. Hashtag Foxy's got cake.
But I want to throw
those
one thing
stripes
in here
don't
for
lie.
people to do, because this is actually, it became one of my favorite things to do with my family. Because watching wrestling on TV is one thing, but when you go to an event, if you bring a friend or family member who's never been to wrestling live, watch them when that first slam happens. Everyone has the same reaction. Everyone goes, oh, because everyone thinks it's all this like just, that's a soft landing. No, when you hear that ring go fucking dump, it's the best fucking thing to do.
It's you get a lot of enjoyment from watching them actually start to enjoy wrestling, and but also feel vindicated when you show them that I was right, you were wrong. Do you like it? Yes. Would you come back? Yes. Mission accomplished. We've made another. But, like, yeah, no. That's kind of what like the start of the story is really, and it's a kid named Alex just trying to find his way. Again, we didn't want to like lots of stories have been tried and true in forever in comics and books and media, but again, we just wanted to put our own spin on it, and by taking the influences from our own real lives, with a sprinkle a little fiction there as well, here and there. Again, it allows the opportunity to give it the heart, as it were, while also still maintaining that, oh yeah, this is a comic format, so that we're allowed to go a bit goofy at times as well. We can exaggerate things, just like in wrestling. Everything is exaggerated to a degree. Sometimes more so, but again, it's a story that we hope to expand upon with each issue. Hopefully, anyone that has read it really enjoy the artwork. They like the story, or they picked up on elements that intrigues them enough that they're like, when's issue 2? Do you have an issue 2? It's like, no, I'm telling you, like I didn't want to put it down. I was enjoying it so much. So again, that's a good thing to hear for us. It means that we're tapping into the right kind of vein. It's just getting, again, not to be a dead horse, but this is purely a passion project that we wanted to do. We wanted to tell a story. Again, it's a super expensive endeavor to do, especially going self-published. Um, but we hope that with enough support, people, and again, Brian talked about like people wanted to dip into their pockets even for just a tenner. We wanted to make it as affordable as possible so that more people can get it, as opposed to trying to charge, oh yeah, 20 quid, here you go. And that'd be the end of it. It was probably just a sporadic purchase at a show. Like we wanted to make it substantial that, right, €10, here you go. If you want to come back, here's a link. You can support the project with other content and stuff like that. So
Foxy, can I do a bit of shooting, or will I behave myself?
sure, if you want. Go.
My comic is cheaper than a wrestler's t-shirt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just saying.
Potentially controversial, but like
Welcome to the weekly
also-
controversies.
Also, if any wrestlers want to tell me how you make your t-shirts, because I want to make t-shirts too. Thanks, love you, bye. We have gone back and forth so many times on Instagram going, what about this producer? What about this producer? What about this producer? What about this producer?
what kind of merch would look good? What merch would look good for our stuff? Like it's just, again, like we want to like that is something that we want down the line, like to have merchandise related to Newton Bat Productions as well as like Onefall in general. But again, the idea that we had was to try and do it with what would we like to wear, or what would we like to have if we were shopping for merch. And it's tough because
It's hard. It is hard to get like your logo on a thong. Difficult. Had to shelve that idea.
Fortunately,
now.
Brian was very disappointed that day. He actually left the meeting.
Oh, did you? Blocked him and everything for a week. So upset.
But again, that's something that hopefully with people that read the comic and actually like follow the story and support will actually be like, I wouldn't mind wearing this, or I wouldn't mind if you brought out such and such with this. Like again, we want people to buy stuff. That's that we wouldn't be good salesmen if we didn't try to sell you stuff as well along the way. But also justifies more content for people that, okay, in the here, there's a big gap between like release of next issue. So in the meantime, how about some merch? What would you like to see out there? Like again, we also need people to actually kind of tell us what they would like to see. That kind of helps us narrow it down as well, if there's enough interest.
Anyone but Brian.
Failing that, we're like, I'm making a hockey jersey.
Oh, that's not bad.
I'd buy it.
Hey, see? But in the same way, when you go to a show, the difference in buying merch off a wrestler, you're there, you get your picture, you get to chat with them, crack a joke, say you love their match. That's the same idea that I want people to know, that it's just us. And I take great inspiration from wrestlers. And yeah, okay, I'm talking bullshit. Yes, we're selling the comic for a tenner, of course we are. I will also be more than likely selling t-shirts at a very similar cost price that any wrestler is selling their merch at. But the difference is, with a wrestler, you're there with them. Or you can go on their
Big Cartel.
whatever happens to be, Big Cartel, Pro Wrestling Tees, out the back of their car, whatever. It's something that you don't get in anything else. Go to your plays, go to your films, go to your gigs. Maybe at like a more independent level. But at every wrestling show that we're on, and I know it is independent wrestling that we primarily would go to, but even when you talk about bigger places, AEW and WWE, you do get your meet and greets. You do get the interaction. There's something about this that could really and truly take over any other art form or medium, because you look at the tripe that goes along with a Hollywood film. The utter bollocksology and highfalutin crap that you have to put up with just to watch a half decent film. There's no accessibility. They're talking down to us. I'm under no illusion talking down to anybody. My camera is literally facing down. You are looking down upon me. But that's something that is like, that's more a part of our production ethos. That we're just two guys with a dream, really good ideas, and fantastic facial hair. Like, there's something in that as well that I want to see other people. Hey, Cody, finish their story.
Oh, I was gonna make the joke later on. For fuck's sake,
Gotcha.
I was literally gonna end
Telling
on
you.
like, so when are we gonna finish the story and get issue 2?
Never.
It's gone now. It's fucking gone
Never.
now.
Never. We're never finishing. This is the never-ending story. We have up until issue 10 written. Issue 10 is like we have a 3-arc story in issue 1, 2, and 3. We have up until issue 10 written, and then we don't know. But I know what I want. Foxy won't let me have it.
Oh, we have to get through this first.
Just give
And
Rhea Ripley and be done with it.
Oh no, Rhea Ripley. Well, anyway, Rhea Ripley and those of the big muscle mommies will be arriving in the form of a character called Porcelain. Where she will show up, we don't know, but Porcelain will make her debut, and you'll all be very thankful. And we may even let her have her own Instagram page. You, me, us, my people. I know who you are. I am you.
All the poor people when they find out it's just Brian running that account.
I'm a really good writer, and I look, not only good writer, fairly decent voice actor too. Like I can go there if you really want me to.
Fox's like, oh god, what have I created? What
He
have I
knows
done?
damn well.
I
He
know
knows-
full well.
Damn well. This is me behaving myself.
Like, if you want to see pure chaotic energy, go watch him on the Nerds Are Us now. Like, Brian's been a part of the Nerds Are Us channel for a few months now, and it's just a ball of energy that is very, very much needed for that channel. So if you haven't, go check out the Nerds Are Us channel on YouTube. Plenty of content there, but no, like yeah. Lost my train of thought there now.
We write good.
I got distracted.
We write good story, and in the mortal words of Damien Corvin, buy my merch.
One thing I have to ask you, with obviously going into issue 2 and beyond, is this somewhat takes place within, let's say, the real wrestling world. I mean, one cameo in the comic, not to spoil or anything like that, with this man.
No.
I'll go for it. I've no problem.
Mr. Dennis Murphy, obviously making a little
Go on.
cameo.
Yeah,
appearance.
you always show it to your camera that you're not showing us.
Sexy waistcoat.
Oh shit! Sorry, I forgot about that. This man. So I use a hard cam. I'm like proper fucking wrestling. I got my talking cam, my hard cam. Mr. Dennis Murphy shows up. Is there a chance of seeing more crossovers, cameos,
Yes.
whatever you want to call them?
Oh no, yes. That's purely the idea. Like, again, I talked earlier about having Easter eggs and rewards for people that really look for them. I purposely want to include several different references. There's a couple of other references as well in that first issue alone, and I think at least 4 of them are already on. Would it be the second page, Brian? Just because he has the comic handy.
Yeah. Page
Page
2
two?
littered. Absolutely littered with
I love how Martin's just like, right, I have to
Let me
look now.
see.
I'm
I
gonna
want
check
to
this
see.
afterwards, yeah.
Page 2, yeah, there's
Yeah.
quite a few references just in that page alone.
Yep.
But yeah, my goal is to try and chuck in as much like Easter eggs and references to either current Irish talent or other people that are well known. Just again for fun because it's my comic and I'm allowed to do that. So, but again, it's more for the fun of I want people to look at it and react. Oh, that's such and such deadly. Like that's a great reference. Like, because I love that shit. Like we're all like, especially if you've grown up watching like the Marvel universe, we love hunting for Easter eggs. We love it. Just so it becomes part of the routine with anything else we watch or read. We're always looking for that extra little tidbit that might be sprinkled in there. So
this is how shite I am with Easter eggs, Brian. On that like second page where like you can see the posters and the stuff in the back, the right hand side, the middle posters, very bottom. Didn't notice that until right now. That little Foxy Easter egg inside there.
Yeah.
Goes to show how good it is, though.
I'm terrible when it comes to unless it's fucking like COD Zombies. I'm shit when it comes to Easter eggs.
but again, that's part of the fun because like you wouldn't have known about like several of those unless we said it.
Oh yeah.
But depending on who you are or how long you've been a fan, like those kind of references would be, Jesus, like older fans would appreciate one or two of them. Especially like considering, depending on when this comes out, but like another project that we've done, we talked about someone recently as well. So yeah, I wanted to do that.
I want to ask, you've kind of answered this already, but do you know how the story ends, or do you have at least an idea of how you want the story to end?
And no.
Next question.
No, it's like we issue 1, 2, and 3 tells a story, beginning, middle, end. Up till issue 10, in and around, depending, is the full original arc of the story that we had planned. Everything past issue 10 is what we are kind of calling on the road. Where you have your trainee. We're going to get issue 2. That Alex is going to take some mat. Alex is taking some bumps. And we're going into full-on detail of the struggle of wrestling training. Issue 3 is the development of that. Issue 4 is the development of that, and development of that. And we have an idea up until that. And then after that, depending on fan interest, depending on interaction, depending on feedback, the story can go so many different ways. I have a set idea of what I would like issue 11, 12, 13 in infinitum to be. But depending on what characters people are interested in, because as much as this is a story about Alex, there are other characters that are going to appear that we are, as creators, fully invested in and know a lot about them. We have biographies, favorite films, Spotify playlists devoted to these imaginary people. Not fake, imaginary. But the idea that depending on what people love, like in wrestling, you cheer, good thing happens. You boo when bad thing happens. And that level of, it's just that little part of the story that we're not fully committing to one idea or the other, because the audience tells you where they want the story to go. People could be like, nah, I'm done with this now. Let's do something. Let's see something else. You want to see Lucha Libre? We got that for you. You want to see some death match? We got death match.
No.
But there's so much about wrestling culture and wrestling styles and parts of the world we want to go to, and give our own opinions on things and real life experiences, and talk to wrestlers hopefully as the comic gets more and more popular, we get more and more stories from wrestlers that say, "Oh, by the way, I have this cool thing that happened. It'd be really cool if." That's me dreaming. My ultimate goal is to have someone be one of our wrestlers in a ring. That's my dream.
It's like a suicide from TNA.
Kind of, yeah. Same idea. So
Like that's what I would love to see, because then I know that it's in the real world. We've Roger Rabbited this shit. But look, this could be anything. This could be nothing. This could go nowhere, or it could go everywhere. That's the fun bit. As much as I know that I have this really fucking cool idea for a story that I adore, and I still love it after all this time, and I can't wait to fuck all you over and twist, catches off guard. Oh, yous are fucked. I'm gonna go full on heel on you motherfuckers. You have no idea. We're gonna reel you get the fuck. We're gonna reel you in. You're gonna love these characters. You know,
he's getting in close, so he can tell you this.
You know what's gonna happen. Bad things are gonna happen to the characters that you love most. And just when you think there's no hope left, that's when you get the good old fashioned run in. You want to see that? Give us your money.
I love how well the light played for that as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the lighting was just like all the way up there, like what you expect. That was fucking perfect. I'm gonna zoom in, like right into Brian's face,
Just
and that whole thing. Yeah, slowly but surely, like the little pan over.
That's the promo for this episode, really.
That's where it's ending. That's where it's ending now. The promo for the episode. I'm gonna fuck you all over.
Yeah. Oh, are you now? Oh, well, better buy your comics, though. You think your story's so good? I'll show you. Oh, fuck, it's really good. Bounce.
So what you're just pretty much saying there about characters and stuff is that when there's like a breaking news type thing, it'd be me and Carmo doing that breaking news in the comic. That's why I'm hearing.
You never know. Do you never know?
I do not give my consent.
I give mine. You can fire that.
Technically, issue 3, maybe issue 4. We do need some marketing and internet personalities, don't we, Foxy?
Yes, we do.
I don't give my consent.
Interesting.
Foxy never gives his consent here, so.
Sorry, what? Sorry, what?
The people know we're talking about. Every episode you're on always begins with "I don't give my consent" when he hears that woman say "now recording."
It's fucking true.
I think this is actually the first one you didn't do it.
I know.
Distracted by my silliness.
I love messing, especially when a Zoom meeting is going to be recording. I love messing and saying like I do not consent. It's like just to see if that'll make it into the recording.
Oh no, it's my fun thing to do. It's like, oh, Foxy's on this week. What's going to be the intro? Now recording. I don't give my consent. Every time.
It's just like what I talked about before with the Joe Time fucking t-shirt. It's gonna be just like a picture of me and it's like I do not give consent. It's like fuck's sake. That can be taken very wrongly, but like still, I think it'd be fun.
Nothing could be taken wrongly, not in this day and age, anyways.
But
like issue 1 is out now, as Brian has said many times. €10. Go get it now. I am looking for my sister Leslie Ann, who Foxy knows absolutely adores him, is dying for issue 2. So, that's gonna be happening. I'd love to see some fucking merch. I love that you have the same kind of idea as me when it comes to FiveMarks one. I don't know. I'm not big on merch. I'd rather have like a clothing kind of line that people can wear anywhere. Do you know? More than just like, oh, that looks really, really cool design. I'm gonna just buy it because it's cool design. I don't want to wear this out because I look like a twat. So, but where can it?
Never. How dare you?
Unless you're Carmel.
Okay.
Carmo, is there any final
Oh.
final things you want to toss in, or?
You know what? It was a question that I was debating asking or not, because I know you're kind of still early on in the comic book writing. Is there any advice you'd give to anybody who's either thinking like they have a story that they want to build into a comic? Have you any advice for those people?
Gimme,
No,
gimme
yeah,
it. Gimme your idea. Tell me your idea, and
Steal
I
it.
will get you. I will get you to like that's the other thing we've kind of really been inspired by as well. Yes, One Fall, and Wolf Fall by Newt and Bat Productions. I love hearing people's stories. I want people to know that your story can be told and it's worth telling. It's just how. Is it in a book? Is it in a comic? Is it in YouTube Shorts? Is it on TikTok? There's so, like, I have a piece of paper that I got from a college. I kind of know what I'm talking about. Maybe, depending how many jelly bears I've eaten. Every idea that somebody has its next step. If you think, what if? Oh, what if? Yes, that. More of that. More of what if. Question things, poke things, go, well, maybe what? Yes, more of that. Do that. That's my advice. Do it right now and send me messages and screenshots and show me the artwork. I fucking love stories. I love telling stories and I love hearing stories. Gimme more now.
like that was also like it became it started out as a secondary idea, but actually that's part of the reason why we decided to go self-published is because if we've gone through the trouble of trying to do this ourselves, then fuck it. Why can't anyone else? Or better, yeah, why don't we give someone a platform that they can do it from and not have to like, all right, who do I go chasing after to get this done? It's like, right, come to us, express your idea. Maybe we can help you like get to the next step or get across the finish line, so to speak. Like we want to hear that. It's a creative outlet for us as well. Keeps us going in the meantime. It's a different project that challenges us in a different way also. So Newton Bat Productions is designed to help anyone. Just like we were helped by other people, like we want to do the same back. We want to help people tell their tell their story and finish their story. Hopefully.
Whoa!
In a song.
Something.
Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, there we go. No, but that was the idea of Newton Bat. It's to provide a platform for someone to, if they have an idea for a story, this is a chance for them to try and finish it. And we want the challenge. We want to hear it. We want to hear what you have in mind. If we can help you do it, great. If we can't, that's entirely up to yourself. Like it's again, we're still learning, but we're trying to apply what we've learned doing this comic to any projects we do go forward. Again, it's all a learning process for us, and it's exciting because it's a new avenue that like for me, like it's a new avenue that still allows me to be very creative when I don't get to do that very often in that regard. So like yes, I'm involved in wrestling, but in terms of the creativity involved in wrestling, I don't really get to show that. So being able to apply that creativity to other things. That's why you'll see that I apply my hand to different things. So like pixel art and fucking Twitch streams and gaming and YouTube and like just I look for different creative outlets because my brain is very strange and messed up at times. But again, this was a great opportunity to be creative, mentally creative. And I just hope that other people understand and know that, like, right, there is an option out there. If they can do it, I can do it too. So, yeah, that's my 2 cents on that. So,
So I want to do something very fun to end this off. I want to put you two against each other in a pitch off. To pitch the comic as best as you can. And
I've lost.
90 seconds each.
I've lost.
You got 60 seconds each.
60 seconds, yeah.
You got this, Foxy. You got this,
No, I
Fox.
don't.
And you know what? I'm gonna make it even more fun. I'm gonna let Brian go first.
See, he's getting into character now. Fuck off.
He knows. He knows. I've trained in the Future Pro Wrestling Dojo. Ladies and gentlemen, this next comic is set for one fall.
One fall.
You've seen pro wrestling. You've seen storytelling, but you've never seen the hottest tag team in the universe. This is a Newton Bat production. This is One Fall.
He did that in half the time.
That's all that was needed.
That was bang on 30 seconds.
That's all that was needed. Like, again, people's attention spans are shocking, like these days. So if you can do it in under 30 seconds, then you're golden. So
Foxy,
I know this.
Do you want to give it a go?
God, no. Like, no, because again, Brian can pitch it a lot better than I can. It may, I don't know if it comes across, but I'm the more subdued when it comes to like being able to talk about the project. So I may not do it justice sometimes when I talk about it. Whereas like Brian can go out there and talk. Like, he's the social one. I'm the one, like, when we do a convention, that's I literally push him out so he can just like go socialize. I'll stay here. I'm a recluse by nature. Like, you see where I fucking do all these like video calls. Like, I just go into my closed space and that's it.
That's me with him. It's like, oh, Karma, yeah, you go talk to all the wrestlers. I'm too shy. Go away. Go on. Go make friends. I'll do all the texting online. That's what I do.
That's it. Like,
if people haven't met me, you've heard me at wrestling shows.
More than likely they have.
All the people going back now watching all the OTT shows, like, oh, have I? He's in my dreams. Oh gosh, he's in my nightmares. But
so that's who was shouting in the background there. Like, now it makes sense.
I was wondering who called Sam a fucking prick.
No, he's on the
maybe
opposite
at the start. No, I'm.
What you need to do now, Brian, is do exactly what I did.
Yeah.
I have the logo tattooed on my leg.
Okay.
So
well, I was considering getting the One Fall logo tattooed on my calf.
Not a bad logo. Okay, I'll show it again. But go pick up your own comic version of One Fall. If he's looking for a comic, if you want a signed version, do ask the lads as well. That's what I got here, signed by the boys. Issue 2 hopefully coming out sometime around the summer. If not, just a little bit afterwards. Who knows? Maybe more to come. As for socials, where can people find you?
The internet. And my house.
Please don't turn up to his house.
Yeah, that'd be weird.
I'll give you a cup of tea and a hug.
As long as you buy a comic.
Yeah.
Not a bad deal.
Maybe even a biscuit. Really good. We are at Come Hither. Give me the thing. We are on Instagram at newtandbatproductions. We also have an email. newtandbat@gmail.com. You can see Foxy at all the greatest wrestling shows and even some of the shit ones on the beautiful island of Ireland. Also internationally and intergalactically and interdimensionally, hopefully. You can see me nowhere because I'm small, but you'll hear me because I'm loud and obnoxious. The end.
And Foxy, even though we've had you sell your stuff so many times, what are you doing?
I stream on Twitch, so you can catch me on Twitch. Foxman2390 on twitch.tv. I do wrestling watch-alongs as well as some video game playthroughs and some good old chats with some friends when they come on as well.
Sometimes I'm there.
Yeah, exactly. And if Twitch is not your thing, if you like the old YouTube, then I also take part on the Nerds Are Us channel on YouTube, along with Brian, who you will see a lot more of, hopefully.
I may or may not be a selling point for these products.
A little bit, yeah. A little bit.
Not more! No, we've had enough of them! Fuck that guy!
If you want pure chaotic energy, like I said earlier, yeah, Brian, he's on the Nerds Are Us channel. He's appeared in a few of our shows, more up-to-date shows. But you'll really see him shine on Future Wrestling RPG, which is a wrestling RPG that we do on the channel. He plays Captain Jack Freedom. He can very easily switch into character, which I'm more worried about.
He's already doing it.
Yeah, he is.
Need a shuffle. I would like to thank these beautiful marks, and I use that phrase with love in my heart and a tightness in my pants. I would like to thank you so much for your time, your platform, and most importantly, your kisses.
The best thing. That's such a God bless America voice.
Exactly. You need to watch the RPG to find out. So go check out Nerds Are Us on YouTube. Again, lots of great content there. But other than that, you can find me foxybros.retailer on facebook.com. I sell pop vinyls, pixel art, it's like bits of everything, wrestling memorabilia, figurines, like all these other stuff that like anime related stuff as well. You can catch me on Instagram, like Fox Niall, Instagram.com. That's where I'll showcase a lot of my pixel art. So if anything catches your fancy, don't be afraid to send a DM or a comment. But everything you see, like pixel art or pops, like they're all available. So just message me. I'll get it to you as quick as possible. Wrestling memorabilia, like referee, like old referee shirts that I have that need to be. I'd rather see go to a home.
Oh, look at him! He's grabbing
somewhere.
I know. He's looking for the gigantic one.
There we go.
There you go. So the one and only. But yeah, I do that like on. So any of my social medias, you can catch me. Like you can just message me and ask away. But yeah, again, I've a lot of different things. But other than that, you can check out good wrestling content on OTT on demand. For all your OTT like content, as well as catch me at Fight Factory, Hard Knocks, NLW, and more throughout the year. So yeah,
I'd like to point out, because it wasn't seen on the camera side, Brian went behind the bookshelf in that time. Speaking of Hard Knocks, Carmel, what's coming up in 4 weeks?
Hard Knocks March 10th.
Yes.
I was not prepared for this. Warzone. Hard Knocks returns to Jordan's Warehouse in Limerick. Tickets are 23 quid. Come down and have a whale of a time. We've got the undisputed Hard Knocks World Championship between Terry Thatcher and Sammy D. We've got a three-way for the Hard Knocks tag team titles in the Social League, Step Romanos, and the Freshness. And we've got the first ever Irish Hardcore Championship as Steve Savage goes up against former JCE Cup winner
Jordan Oliver.
I forgot his name.
Which would be a death match refereed by yours truly, Niall Foxy Fox, who loves death matches. Loves them.
No.
Maybe not.
No. Like, no. For anyone who doesn't know, I am absolutely against deathmatch wrestling. Like, I don't agree with. So, they'll have to find a different referee for that match.
What you mean to say is, Foxy, Hard Knocks, step into the zone, the war zone.
Love it.
Two main events, one war zone. You can follow us on FiveMarks Podcast on X, Instagram. I think some of them are FiveMarks Pod. You'll find us. Just look up the FiveMarks. We're there. If you're listening over on Spotify, do hop over to the YouTube where you can find some exclusive interviews in a brand new series called Controversial Chats. We've just dropped an interview with Boots, and depending on when this goes up, there might be one of one Danny Cross J, whatever the fuck he wants to call himself this week, up there as well. So
I don't even mind if you don't watch the videos on YouTube. Just please subscribe to us. That'll help, and that's all.
Tickle that algorithm.
Yeah.
Drop, subscribe. Give us if you're listening on Spotify, give us a rating. Give us a 5-star rating. All that helps so much. But this is where I hand it over to Mr. Karma now to do what he always does best.
I'm going to do something interesting this week. I'm going to lead it out as I always do, but I'm going to hand it over to Brian to actually finish this episode. So I'm going to thank Brian and Foxy for coming on for this episode. Make sure to check out One Fall. But for another week of the 5 Marks, we are officially ding done. Over to you, Brian.
This has been Newt and Bat Productions, Brian Maxwell and Niall Foxy Fox on. We give them 5 stars because they're the 5